Alright, so we're heading into the third map between Hot and Paladyn. It is on Echo Isles, and I guess you've already noticed the change in quality here, which is caused by, as I said in the end of the previous video, the fact that there is no replay available from this one, so I'm gonna have to rely on the old ESL VOD, and I'm going to cast over it. So just to quickly recap the previous matches for you guys, but especially for me, because it's been a few days since I've casted the other two maps of this best of three, and you know, I didn't originally plan on casting this until I found the old video on an external hard drive of mine. So I think map number one was a pretty short one on which Paladyn was able to take it after a big push with a huge tier 1 army and a Priestess of the Moon, which we're not gonna see here, as both of the players do start with their Ancient of Wars at their green camps, a Demon Hunter for both of the players. And map number 2 on Turtle Rock was definitely more exciting, with Hot going for talents and archers, and eventually after the gold mines, the main gold mines ran out, he was able to push down the eventual, you know, new base where the tier 3 of Eternity of Paladyn was heading to. And yeah, he was able, thanks to superior heroes and slightly superior army size, to overwhelm the Ancient of Lore tech of Paladyn. So here we are, map score is 1-1. As I said, both the players do start with a Demon Hunter, Paladyn on the right hand side with the Gloves of Haste, the Demon Hunter of Hot with the Circlet of Nobility, and Hot is getting aggressive here immediately, whereas Paladyn just wants to quickly grab the level 2, and if he was able to get that before the Demon Hunters coming in, he should be able to trade extremely well despite him having the slightly inferior item. He wasn't able to get the level 2 yet though, and Hot is immediately going for the first archer, forcing it back a little bit, and this trade thus far seems to go pretty well for the Ukrainian. And yeah, in fact, Paladyn is going to be forced to use quite a bit of Moonshoes here to keep himself alive, to you know, keep the HP of both of the Demon Hunters at somewhat close to the same level. So a decent exchange here early on for Hot. But at the same time, the next time we do see the Demon Hunter, of course I don't have the control over the mouse, so I cannot check for everything I want to. But now we see it, okay, the Demon Hunter, he did have quite a few HP when he came in, but that was simply caused by the fact that neither of the Troll Trappers were finished yet by the Archer and the Ancient of War on his side of the map. But judging by the XP he had just now, it looks like he didn't screw up anything, and as you can clearly see, yeah, he didn't miss out on any XP from his first creep camp, and yeah, therefore is only slightly behind in experience. He has drained a little bit more Moonshoes from his opponent's main base than he's going to be forced to use from his, but thus far still it doesn't look like anyone's got a huge advantage yet. So both of the players gathering their archers here behind the forest, apparently willing to go in with their Demon Hunter to perhaps snipe the Ogre Magi with a little bit of archer support, but neither of them is going to get away with it, as it appears, since both of the players do know of their opponent's plans. Both of the Demon Hunters now heading towards the middle. I think Hot got something at the shop in the middle. Didn't pay attention previously, but he did head there, and yes, he does have Boots of Speed as well as the Dust of Appearance, which means superior movement speed compared to Paladyn, and of course the ability to always reveal archers when they're out on the map. And quite fragile there. So both of the players do add a couple more archers. We have not seen a Hunter's Hall yet by either of the players. I mean, this is Echo Isles, and basically both of the strategies are perfectly viable. By both of the strategies, I mean, you know, Ancient of Lore tech, or just Ancients of Wind together with the archers here. As we can see, Paladyn heading towards this expansion, but Hot with a good wisp spread here early on. Hunter's Hall is coming for the Ukrainian, who's picked up a Naga second, and it looks like it's going to be the Keeper second for Paladyn once again, who has added an Ancient of Wind right now, Ancient of Lore right now, excuse me. Just seeing they do have the German version here. And yeah, who's got a Hunter's Hall as well. But this could actually be quite painful here. Very nicely timed push by Hot, but at the same time, I'm not sure what Paladyn was able to achieve inside of his opponent's main base. So far though, Hot has been able to delay the Ancients of Lore of his opponent definitely by a larger margin than Paladyn was able to delay Hot's Ancients of Lore, so he's gonna have bear production starting a little bit more quickly. But speaking of bear production, it's no immediate tier 3 tech by Paladyn, so I'm not quite sure what he's going to decide to eventually rely upon, because he does have the resources to go for tier 3 already, but perhaps he values the Ancients of Lore more, even though they're definitely going to be delayed here by a little bit. So we do see the first clash right now with the Keeper of the Grove. Both of the players have lost their first archer here already. Next entangle goes on the next archer, and it is going to be Hot, who's definitely going to have to fall back here. It's not going to be able to trade well here against this full HP, or no longer full HP, but previously full HP Keeper with the inferior number of archers. Therefore he's gonna have to fall back. I'd like to see space, which we're seeing right now. He's going for tier 3 as well as the double Ancient of Lore, and actually he's not that far ahead in terms of getting his Ancients of Lore up. Only one of them is almost finished, but the second one with about the same timing as Paladyn's Ancients of Lore. So perhaps Hot's tier 2 tag was slightly slower. Quite difficult to confirm that, and it looks like we're gonna see the next clash here. And yeah, once again Paladyn was trying to go for the Ogre Matcher here in the middle, but once again he's not gonna get away with it. At the same time, Hot isn't going to get all too much done as well, but I mean, since Hot doesn't have any units left, it's definitely in his interest to prevent both of the players from creeping anything, as Paladyn currently would be able to creep a lot more efficiently. So next archer is going to get picked off here. Of course, one of the advantages of the Keeper is that whereas the Naga is also good in sniping stuff, while the units are entangled, they cannot be staffed out with Staff of Preservation. But speaking of that one, it looks like the shop is just now in production for Hot, so he's not even gonna have a Staff of Preservation yet. On the contrary, Paladyn has picked up his Staff of Preservation quite a while ago already, so yeah, he's not gonna have any problem saving any units here. Therefore, all that Hot can and wants to achieve here at the moment is to win time, to basically, yeah, just have both players do nothing, and for the moment it seems to work out just fine. He's putting a lot of pressure on that Demon Hunter. His Demon Hunter, on the other hand, is trying to stay out of any damage. He's going to have one rejuvenation available right now onto his Demon Hunter, I imagine, which is going to allow him to apply a lot of pressure to this Keeper of the Grove. Keep in mind there is a Staff of Preservation on the Demon Hunter of Paladyn, so this Keeper should be perfectly fine. And in fact, he's getting his first rejuvenation onto the field right now as well, so it looks like neither of the players is going to be able to get a superior number of bears here anytime soon. Perhaps as long as they clash in the middle, Hot might end up with like one more bear compared to his opponent, but nothing game deciding. But this could actually be quite huge if he is gonna get away with creeping the Ogre Matcher here while only basically having one unit into the two heroes on the field, and we're seeing exactly that, and he's getting the big mana potion. Pretty unfortunate item drop. He would have definitely preferred to have the big heal potion, by far I would say the best item here, followed by the big Inmo potion, but didn't get any of those, and at the end he was also forced to use the Town Portal, which I would say, given that he found the big mana potion here, probably was not exactly worth it, because he's not going to be able to make great use of that one. But he's got the Ancient of War positioned here already to continue creeping. Then again, he's gonna have Master finished, I imagine, or finished any second now, which means he's not really gonna have to rely upon an Ancient of War when doing his creeping, because, you know, just with the Demon Hunter and the bears, he's gonna be able to creep any camp on the map quite easily. And it looks like Paladyn is going to be the one to apply the pressure here right now. Of course, the time winning game that Hot has been playing previously has cost him a lot of moon shoes, as we can see here, and therefore perhaps Paladyn feels like he's got a chance right now to apply some pressure. But as I said, Hot does have the slightly superior number of bears, and the archers at this point are completely useless on the side of Paladyn. And on top of that, he didn't get the Orb of the Orb of Venom, of course, yet, which is going to give his opponent a huge edge in those fights. So he's definitely not going to want to take a fight right now, so I'm not really sure what that push was all about. Perhaps he was expecting Hot to be out on the map, creeping somewhere, and he just expected to be able to trade town portals and get away with perhaps a moonwell kill on top of things. But Hot was pretty much in position, was able to deflect this little aggression immediately without any trouble, killing an archer on top of things and not giving Paladyn any reward for his aggression here. So Paladyn has picked up the orb by now. He's got it on the Keeper of the Grove. The first bear is not in master shape here and he has been entangled immediately. Paladyn making use of the fact that that bear was in adept shape. Both of the second tiers have taken a bit of damage, but especially the Keeper of the Grove on the side of Paladyn needs to take care. Hot, I'm not sure if he does have a staff. Already the bear gets microed out, but slightly too late. But also there's the first ride on the side of Hot already, which makes it a lot easier for him to snipe stuff out. But speaking of that ride, it has fallen already. In total, it looks like the trade is still favorable for the Ukrainian here, as he's able to apply a lot more pressure on the Keeper here as well, who's gonna have to run away right now. And it is only one or maybe two bears. Two bears I think remaining for Paladyn, who's gonna be able to save both of them by the looks of it. Staff in the meantime has been used by Hot here to get his Naga out of the fight into safety. So both of the players do have Staff of Preservation available already. But wow, I said the fight did look very promising for Hot there in the beginning, but it looks like Paladyn has saved so many of his bears here. Quite impressively done by him. We do see two bears extremely low on HP, and the Demon Hunter has died somewhere, which was completely missed by the camera here. And well, that's gonna make things harder for Paladyn. So I'm not really sure what happened there. And I mean, wow. So there are a couple of bears, a lot of bears in fact, on the side of Paladyn and the Keeper, but no Demon Hunter currently. So he's gonna have to, make do without him for the time being. As we can see, 4 bears on the side of Hot currently. Is he gonna wanna apply more pressure immediately? He could try and do so. He's got the Demon Hunter, but I think, he's on 44 supply. His opponent's gotta be on 50. And therefore, 50 for Paladyn. He's got a Demon Hunter, but he's got the inferior number of bears. Demon Hunter is halfway back already. We can see the bears doing plenty of damage against the altar, but the wisps are there to repair. Ancient of War is going to be able to help as well. Keeper gets mana burn here. The bears of Paladyn finally getting into a better position, and this doesn't look like a fight that Hot is going to be able to do all too well. And despite having the Demon Hunter here, the first 2 bears of Paladyn are positioned rather awkwardly though. The first bear of Hot has been staffed, the next bear of Paladyn, or the first bear of Paladyn actually has been staffed, one previously did fall, and Hot might be able, I imagine, to snipe out perhaps one more bear. It doesn't look like Paladyn really has the means to take anything down, but he has the means to pretty convincingly repel this push by Hot despite not having his Demon Hunter. So the bears definitely doing their job there. Demon Hunter is about to be back, so for the time being Paladyn has survived here, but Hot has easily been able to catch up to 50 supply again, despite trading not all too well before killing the Demon Hunter of Paladyn here. And therefore this is still anyone's game to take basically. Hot is going towards the middle again, buying 2 heal scrolls here. So he's making good use of the gold he's gathering up here while still being at 50 supply. I don't know if he's building another moonwall in order to, plan to eventually break into low upkeep. For the time being he's still at 50, and it looks like he's going to get ready to be aggressive again. He does have, they're going through the bears, and one of them does have mana to morph into druid shape and then rejuvenate the other bear. So 50 supply on both sides, 1-1 upgrades for the Ukrainian currently. On the side of Paladyn, we have no idea what the upgrades are. Come on, he's clicking on one of the bears. It's 1-0 for Paladyn, so he's slightly down in terms of upgrades. Both of the heal scores have just been purchased for Hot, so this is a very, or could turn out to be a very, very difficult fight to take for Paladyn, who is trying to run away for the time being. Perhaps he was expecting a counter expansion or an expansion to be the follow-up by Hot here after being able to kill the Demon Hunter of Paladyn, but Hot decided not to do any such thing, just rely upon items and and upgrades for the moment. And yeah, look at Paladyn's bank. He's got 700, almost 800 gold, and he was definitely expecting to buy some items at the shop there in the middle, and all he was able to get was a scroll of protection, if I saw that correctly. So that was not really what he intended to do, and now he's gonna have to eventually get out of there, but not without killing the shop and at least one moonwell before doing so. The keeper is on the run, fog lightning is finally coming in, the next moonlight gets cancelled here, the next moonlight gets killed, and this turns out to be a pretty decent trade here for Paladyn, who's losing one bear on the retreat, and Hot is definitely supply stuck. The quality is so great, I don't even see if he's broken into a low upkeep yet, but I imagine he's still on 50 supply. Paladyn on the other side, we can see, is also still at 47. He hasn't added any moonwells yet. I think with the additional gold that he had there, which he wasn't able to spend, there is no way that he's not adding any moonwells right now. Or isn't? No, on the bottom he's adding 2 more moonwells, which was to be expected. The Demon Hunter gets another bear picked off here, and Hot is really making Paladyn pay for this little push here in the end, being able to kill 2 bears, and now he's going to be applying more pressure. 2-1 upgrades have finished in the meantime on the side of Hot, and Paladyn is going to have to defend with his Ancient of War in the front line. Once again, rejuvenation on his Demon Hunter. Demon Hunters are starting to exchange blows, and this Ancient of War is going to be taken care of quite quickly. The bear on the bottom might be the first one to be staffed here, but actually Hot is able to, for the time being, pull him back. Dryad gets rid of the Entangle very quickly. He's got 2 of them, so she should always have mana to deal with the Entangle. Just needs to make sure to have the Abolish Magic not on auto cast, so the Dryads don't waste all of their mana dispelling Roar. So it's always going to have the means to get rid of either Entangle or Rejuvenation onto those units, and we do see the next big fight starting here in the middle. The Demon Hunter of Hot immediately starts to take a lot of damage, but so have the first 2 bears of Paladyn already as well. Some Wisps are coming in, Protection Scroll has been used in the meantime by the Polish player, and yeah, both of the players starting to take some damage onto their bears, but we do see that Hot is microing very nicely here, always sending his low HP bears back for just a second, whereas Paladyn has lost his second bear already. Entangle goes to the next bear of Hot, but he's immediately using Dispel. A lot of his units are low HP already, but he's killing another bear while using a heal scroll here, a weapon that Paladyn does not have to his disposal. The next bear is being chased away, and it looks like Hot is just very clearly winning the fight here, and we've seen in the top right corner of the screen that the Demon Hunter has died here at his Tree of Eternity. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but for the second time the Demon Hunter dying basically off screen, and given that the altar has already fallen on the side of Paladyn, it seems like there's not really any means he's got left to hold this push here, and yes, it is 66 against 40 supply. Demon Hunter missing for Paladyn, and that is too much to stay in the game for the Polish Night Elf player, and therefore Hot is taking this best of 3. He wins the second map, on which things were looking somewhat equal. Before the fight in the middle, in front of the shop, where it started promising for Hot, but Paladyn in the end was able to save a lot of bears, but then somehow lost his Demon Hunter, we're not sure why, and nevertheless he was able to repel the push of Hot, since he was having more bears remaining than Hot, but the problem was that he was giving up map control, or he had to give up map control. I mean, he could hold the push with his, defender's advantage, but he didn't have the means to go out on the map before his Demon Hunter was back, and once his Demon Hunter was back, he went out on the map, but all of the items of the one shop had already been purchased by Hot, and Paladyn ended up just running away and being forced to town portal, losing 2 bears in the process, at least getting a little bit of stuff killed, supply blocking his opponent, but it was still enough for Hot to win with the following push with his superior items and with his, I think, superior upgrades as well. We've seen him being on 2-1. I didn't know if Paladyn added any more upgrades after his 1-0. I guess he may have added more since he couldn't spend his gold on items previously. But nevertheless, Hot was able to push him down eventually, therefore he's winning, therefore he is going up to 9 points here. Paladyn remains down at 6 points, and he's going to be joined there by either Mew or Zeus, who are both currently sitting at 3 points, and one of them is going to win the next match we're going to see. And yeah, therefore one of them is going to go up to 6 points. Hot, by the way, up at 9 points, is not yet completely safe to advance. He's looking pretty strong, but he can still end up on rank 4, theoretically. As always, I hope you enjoyed this best of 3. I mean, this one was a little bit, this third map was a little bit not that great in quality, but you know, what can you do? By the way, the first map of Mew against Zeus, we're gonna have the same problem, but afterwards we are gonna have replay again. So yeah, I hope you'll check out the next best of 3 as well. I hope this one gets a thumbs up by you and a comment, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.